to get your teammates fired up.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Shumpert comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Cleveland moving the ball around. Kicks it to Green. And it's Parker in the corner. Outside Aldridge. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Mozgov, he's checked in for Cleveland. And Frye kicks to LeBron. Duncan with the block. Leonard on the wing. He's got 21. No luck. So Cleveland will take it the other way. Dishes to James. And again, LeBron missing.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game. They needed a run desperately, and boy, did they come up big.
And it wasn't just about getting hot offensively. Defensively, they've been stellar as well.
Mozgov passes to LeBron. The dish to Dellavedova. Down low. Trying to get back on track. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Channing Frye signed a 4-year, $32 million contract in 2014. And in the very first leg of that contract, promptly had his worst season in 5 years. In fact, he even lost his starting job along the way.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Smith comes in for Shumpert. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Matthew Dellavedova. Here's Leonard. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. J.R. Smith picks one up.
Shooting for San Antonio.
We're talking about Channing Frye last year. The three-point shot still there for the second straight season, Greg. He hit the second most threes among power forwards again, landing in back of Kevin Love.
Yeah, and offensively fine, but that defense, Kevin, was not there. And Frye was neither quick enough or aggressive enough to stop anyone. And he has the talent. It's up to him. He's got to dig a little deeper if he really wants to realize his potential.
Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And, Greg, it's clearly been their edge. And in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off. Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
At first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And with that shot, the Cleveland lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Kawhi Leonard. James dishes to Thompson. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Here's Marjanovic. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
The kick out to Irving. Passes it to Smith. Feeds it to Frye. To the paint. Here's Irving. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. And that's now 7 points for Kyrie Irving. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. San Antonio shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for him. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
And you can see that even though he ties the game up, disappointed he couldn't give him the lead.
Now James. With 1 on the clock. Off target. Tie game. And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And so it's San Antonio with it. Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Then there's West. And it's Mills. That's the San Antonio 5. To the inside. Kicks it out to Ginobili. No good. And Cleveland will come the other way. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. And it's Dellavedova missing.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
The pass to Irving. Love with the screen on Ginobili. Irving with a clean look. Stayed with it, but they couldn't get it to fall. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. For 3, Love. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
Manu Ginobili is one of the toughest guys you'll ever meet. That goes not just for the NBA, but any sport. I mean, a true competitor in every sense of the word.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. On the topic of Ginobili, he's the guy who, when things aren't going well for your team, takes things into his own hands. He takes over, tries to coordinate. His will to win is, as Greg Popovich will tell you, out of this world.
I mean, you know, he's not just physically tough, but as mentally tough as anybody, arguably, who's ever played the game. What a big-time performer and a big shot maker.
Parker outside. Out to Miller. Back to Anderson. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there. And good on the basket. Book it. And the Spurs lead by 1.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. To the paint. Here's Miller. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
They're really doing a good job working hard to get inside and draw contact, a little more so than they did in the first half.
And defensively, if you're trying to battle back, you can't keep sending them to the line.
James checked in for Cleveland. Smith comes in for Kyrie Irving. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 3 on the basket from James.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Miller kicks to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Pass to Aldridge. Inside. And finished off by Anderson.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy.
Miller, the pass to Parker. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
Kyrie Irving's checked in for Matthew Dellavedova. And James throws it down hard.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game. Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're leading by 3. 1:30 left to play here in the fourth. And the Spurs with some changes. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Diaw. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson. And it's Green in for Miller. Here's Aldridge. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by.
And they've had the advantage tonight on the glass, and that's another big one.
And in a close game like this, it can be won or lost on the boards. They've got to keep it up.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Leonard. It's in!
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Irving dishes to Love. Irving kicks to Love. Back to Irving. Yes! He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
And he is starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Duncan inside. He's covered by Thompson. And the Cavaliers call time here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. And so it's Cleveland with it. .26 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Parker again. It's LeBron. Sinks it.
Boy, is it tough to stop LeBron right now.
Leonard attacking to the wing right side. He kicks it to Parker. And the wide open shot from Green. Bullseye! And the Cavaliers call time here. They're losing by 1. 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
They have enough time here to drive to the hoop. And unless they get a wide open jumper, that's what they should do. Because even if you miss, you're more likely to get to the foul line.
Here's LeBron. Oh, no good. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finishes. Clark, they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
Yep, and it might not be the way a coach would have drawn it up or wanted it to end, but these fans loved it.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke,